right, here we go. Good morning. Welcome this Saturday morning for our presentations that we started doing all about the idea of creating our 12 Visions world. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Cheyenne Kramer, and this is the better half,
Donald Kramer. Hello.
Absolutely. And we've spent the last decade working on building structures and systems that really are meant to emulate what many of us read about in that wonderful Miss Annabelle story so long ago. And we're doing everything from teaching in prisons to teaching people about their Friday night essence to getting involved in helping people build multiple income streams. We have people that we're associated with who are doing things in the positive media, giving people at all levels of society the opportunity for their music to be heard. So if we're not personally doing something in that story, then we have found people and made them part of our network who are doing it. So that's what we're all about, is getting more people engaged and active in helping to actually create the 12 Visions world, because we're convinced, and this guy ran for governor in North Carolina in 2012, and it was such a horrendous joke in terms of the system and how it kept us down and how it kept us from being able to do what we wanted to do. So we've decided to take the approach of what Mark Hamilton called the split run. And so we've got more and more people that are starting to come together who are just creating new systems and new solutions. They're being those value creators. And that's what we want to highlight each week, that we can do this on our Zoom meetings. We're making recordings. They're going up on my personal YouTube channel. Right now they're under Creating 12 Visions World. You can find them on that playlist. And we're going to encourage everybody to start collaborating and figuring out how to support each other so that we can create the change that we want to see. Because we all know if everybody just sits around and waits for politicians to do it, it ain't happening. So with that, did you have any words of wisdom, my dear, that you wanted to add?
No, it's just, we got to get together and work together.
We got to get together and work together. That's what it ends up being all about. So with that, I am going to say welcome to Mr. Rick Mabe, who some of you may remember used to head up the Business Alliance in the wonderful groups that we were in. And we became friends back then and decided back then that somewhere along the line we needed to somehow kind of sort of keep working together. So I'm so excited that he's here, and he's going to explain to you how he's taken the knowledge that he acquired through NeoThink, 12 Visions, Mark Hamilton, and how he's putting this out here to the world in his own way to be able to help more people learn the things that we've learned about. So with that, Rick, first of all, let me ask you this. Did you have anything that any PowerPoints or anything that you wanted to share today, or are we just letting you roll?
No, I think we'll just roll today. We've gotten together for the first time in a while, and I want to thank you very much for inviting me to be back into the fold and to be able to share with you guys again. It's been kind of a fit and start with me a little bit, and you know, I've been plowing away, but I've kind of been you know, dealing with some other things in life and stuff. Anyway, that's for another day. And hopefully with us getting back together and with everybody else, I see there's a lot of people on the screen today, so it looks like there's quite a bit of people interested in moving forward with our with getting the 12 Visions together. So I don't really have anything to share on the screen today. I'll flash some things up on the camera as we go here, just a couple of things as I'm talking, and so no.
Go for it.
Okay. So my name is Rick Mabe, and back in 1998 was when my journey really started, even maybe 10 years before that, when I was struggling with some things in my life. And that's for another day, another topic. We've got about 30 minutes, and you know, I could share my entire life with you, but that won't do anything except for to say that I'm just a normal guy. The only thing that makes me special at this point in my existence is that I have become a neo-think man, a God man in my own right, through a lot of mentoring, a lot of reading, a lot of learning, being touched by God in the year 1998 when I was on a mountaintop with my mom, going through some very, very deep studies into myself, trying to awaken the child within, which we now know is our essence, discovering that which I was created to be in God's own image. It's an amazing journey that many of us have not been able to partake in a lot of ways for whatever reason, which we can get into here in a moment. So the real journey for me began in 1998 after Mom had heart surgery. I nearly died on the table, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's a lot into this story that will become revealed to you as we begin to know each other more. For those of you who are new on here, Sheehan and I became really good friends, but like she said, back around 2007 or so, a long time back when we first got introduced to Mark and to what we call the Neo-Think Society, which for some of you who are on here who have never heard of that, don't be scared by it. It's just it's a new think mentality that we were introduced to together. And so we've been pretty much working together ever since. Sheehan developed this thing called the Triangle Solutions Alliance that is an amazing thing based on business and community and we the people getting together and helping people to uncover what their essence is and working together to help people to pull themselves up and move forward. For me, just want to give you a summary of why I am here today, and then I will show you what it is that I want to do. So like I was saying earlier, in 1998, I was on a hike in the mountains after going through many, many moons of self-discovery. I was touched by God in a very, very profound way. It was like walking into a wall. I was touched and filled with energy as I'm being touched and filled with energy right now. Every time, just so you know, every time I do this, every time that I get in front of people, God is speaking to me, even now, as I do this. So please be aware that Rick is speaking to you honestly, not alone. So I'm being told to tell you that I love you right now and that I am here with message, and I am going to share that with you in the next 30 minutes. So anyway, I was touched, received a message, and over the past decade or so, this formula and process has come to me to share with people as much and as often in any way that I can, including as I am here with you today. And that is called hope. And the hope is honesty, omnipotence, pure love, and essence. And that has also culminated over years of study and meditation and being touched by God and my friends and all of us working together. I was laying in bed one night in 2009-10 time frame when I was once again given a message to get my butt out there to write about what we have been taught. And I was given the 4 words: honesty, omnipotence, pure love, and essence. And so beginning then and working for the next few years, I wrote this: Hope, Your Essence Navigation System. And it's a short book. It's 156 pages long, and it goes over the 4 pillars of what I consider to be the most profound universal laws of existence that God put into us inherently to live a happy and prosperous life. It took me until 2013 to publish it. Went through a lot of iterations, went through a lot of coaching and talking. Many mentors helped me to put this together. Jesus is in here, in my heart, along with Mark Hamilton and others. Their names would come to me if I wasn't a little choked up right this minute. Abraham Lincoln is in here. My dad, my mom, Barbara Mabe. My family's all in here. So this is the book, Hope, Your Essence Navigation System. It's available on Amazon.com. It's also available through me. There's also a workbook that comes with it and just so you know, this is my personal copy. It's got my name in it. And just so you know, Rick does his own work in here. Show you a close-up up there. You can see my little words in there so that you know that I'm not full of crap, that I do this myself often and much inside here. Now, just to give you a real quick breakdown of this thing, okay? In order for us to get to where we need to be, this is my opinion. Like I said, I'm just a normal guy that's got a message, and I've been given a mission to help people get where they need to be along with me. We work together in this. This is not something that you just get thrown under the bus about, okay? First of all, you have to want to do this, okay? You have to want to reach a point in your life where you can be on your own, living without dependence upon some fake leadership. You have to be a self-leader in this, okay? So the very first thing that we have to do with this is do an honesty assessment. And so you got the couple, these go together. But in the workbook, if you open the workbook, the very first thing you see in here is a thing to do an honesty assessment, okay? You do the honesty assessment first, right there. That's your honesty assessment. Ask you some questions about, what honestly got you where you are today. You have to accept that you have first of all, the power and the authority to do what it is what you're going to do with your life. But then you also have to accept the responsibility and accountability for what got you where you are. Without that, then you can just stop now and just forget about it. You have to be honest about things. You have to be honest about what got you where you are. And then you have to accept the responsibility and accountability for what you're going to do to get out of there. Then you do an omnipotence assessment. I call it an openness assessment as well, because often people don't understand the omnipotence piece of this thing. But we have to not be afraid of God. We have to not be afraid of our Creator. This is what really shakes some people up, because omnipotence is the inherent design within us to create. It is the authority granted to us by our Creator God to have dominion over our space, to have dominion over our planet, to have dominion over ourselves and the people that we impact. Now, what we have lost in all of this is the responsibility and accountability that comes with that authority to exercise our free will. So what we have to come to grips with in our honesty assessment is that we are omnipotent beings, and that we need not fear our Creator, but establish a relationship with the Creator and have that responsibility and accountability that comes with that. Then the pure love piece of this puzzle is that we have to learn to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. I know all this stuff sounds simple. It is very simple in concept, but how difficult is it for us to actually embrace that and do it? The pure love piece of this thing is where you love without expectation of reciprocity, where you can look a human being in the eyes. And believe me, it takes exercise to do this. It takes work to be able to do what I'm explaining to you, because from my experience, you are tested. in order to be able to do this. You cannot just go out there and fake love. You meet me face to face, when you come into contact with me face to face, you will understand what I mean by this, because I do not fake love. I cannot physically, mentally, or emotionally fake love to people, and people know that when they meet me. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. Please understand that I'm just a normal person. I'm just a normal guy, y'all. But I understand now what it means to be truly a pure love human being, without prejudice, without hate in my heart. And when you meet me, you'll understand. But you can get there through exercising your omnipotence, your honesty, and your own inherent design. Okay? So that's the third piece of this thing that you do when you exercise when you do your exercises. And then so when you're doing that, right, and you start honestly assessing yourself, this is all part of self-discovery. This is all part of becoming a self-leader and doing self-discovery to determine who it is you were supposed to be. This is what God has given me a mission to do in this. Your essence will begin to bubble. Because in all of this, the outcome of this is to determine what your essence is, to build that, similar to what Michael Jordan did, to what Bill Gates has done, to what our president, Donald Trump, has done. Whether you like him or not, you got to admit, this guy has been living his essence since he was knee-high to a Junie bug. This guy, and as much as you might not like him as a person, it doesn't matter. This guy has been living his essence, and you see what he's been doing. Others, Beethoven, Bach, Leonardo da Vinci, these people were living their essence from a very young age. Einstein, all of these people knew their essence. They dripped their essence. They were drenched in their essence. They stunk of their essence. Literally, these people were their essence. And why aren't all of us of that essence? Why aren't all of us of our essence? Ooh. Periodically, you will see me do what I'm doing right now, because I'm overcome with energy. Because I did something that you'll learn in this book is how to exercise, how to meditate. It's a very easy, quick thing to do, but it opens up your channels to receive your connection with your creator. And I know that some of you may think that I'm being off the hook a little bit here, but trust me when I say to you, or don't even trust me, it doesn't matter. Do it yourself, and you'll see what I mean. You'll experience it. So those are the things. And once you exercise these pillars across your life, your essence will begin to bubble. And here's the thing that I have been experiencing, Sheehan's been experiencing, and all the people that are involved with us have been experiencing. There are no coincidences. People come at you. You will start being bombarded by these things that come from all directions. And I'm sure, Sheehan, if you want to jump here anytime and share with what you were experiencing in North Carolina, with people starting to come out of the woodwork with your Triangle Solutions Alliance, and with all the things that you're experiencing, you start getting touched. And people will start asking you for what you need, what they want. Mm-hmm. You cannot get away from it. And I just will say this. In my experience, what I have been experiencing over the last 10 years, particularly over the last 5 years, is periods of depression and periods of angst, because I have not been pursuing my essence. Mm-hmm. I will say it. I have been weak in some degree in pursuing my essence because of my weakness in other areas that I have had to. And you see me on Facebook. If you guys who are on this movie right now have been watching me on Facebook, you will see me do honesty assessments right in front of you in my Facebook posts. I have had to do honesty assessments over and over again because of the mission that I have been given. And I will be perfectly honest and blatant with you about this. It scares me often to think about the magnitude of what it is that we have to do as a group right now. The urgency with which we have got to move has never been greater than it is right now. And it is frightening to many of us, especially those who have been touched by God and who feel that they have this mission. It is frightening. And the power that overcomes us when we are exposed to this and have been learning this is really, really just profound. I've only got a few more minutes. There's something else I want to do right now, if you don't mind, Sheehan.
It's yours.
I want to read something to you from this morning. When I was getting ready for this morning, I opened up one of my favorite books of all time.
Miss Annabelle, yes.
And all I did, and some of you don't even know what Miss Annabelle is. All I did was turn to a page, and Sheehan, you've seen me do this before. And this is what I mean by being touched by God and being touched by our Creator and having this omnipotence within us. It doesn't matter what book I pick up, okay? The other day, I picked up this book before I did a video. You know what this is? This is Napoleon Hill's Laws of Success. Okay, some of you have heard of it, some of you haven't, but I recommend you get that one too. I was going to do a video on the Golden Rule. I did not even go and look for it. I did not even go and look for the Golden Rule. All I did was open up the book and the Golden Rule stared at me right there. Right hand, I'm not lying. All right, let me read this real quick. And this will give you some idea of where we are, me and Sheehan and Don and these other people who are on here. Let's see, there's Donald. I see Donald on there. Some other people who understand what I'm saying. Some of you will just be touched by what I'm saying to know how the profound energy works through us in this stuff, how magical it can be. These are called 10-second miracles that happen when you're trying to talk to people. Here we go. I'm going to read this real quick. Robert and Natasha quietly began testing the C of U orientation course in the new Paradise City near Chicago. It had been less than a year since Daniel started building Paradise Cities following the first Paradise City near Laguna. But the breakthrough construction technologies nearly cut construction start to finish by over 60%. Robert uses a large clubhouse beneath the five-star restaurant to house the weekend events. The demand for the course was immediately overwhelming. Kathy and Theodore called Robert and Natasha after the fourth consecutive weekend. The National Message Center for the Paradise Cities is going berserk, Kathy said. Residents in our other Paradise Cities are asking for your orientation course to come to their Paradise Cities too. I'm not even sure how they know about it. How quickly can you and Natasha replicate your course to be delivered all week long in all the Paradise Cities? How many Paradise Cities exist now? 17 with residents, 52 being started to build now. We can get my program can we get those programs in my city in weeks? And we'll be ready when the others become completed. 5 weeks later, Kathy called Robert. Just about everyone in our Paradise Cities wants to go through your C of U orientation. By the way, I've named the course Thank God Man, the Civilization of the Universe, TGIC for short. What?
I love it.
The dynamic process of using honesty obsoleted static codes of living. Philosophy and religious belief systems vanished because their static codes of living were no longer needed in a civilization where everyone easily acted on fully integrated honesty in every situation. So without religions, Jake wondered, why does the Church of God Man still exist? After some thought, he realized they congregated weekly for the advantages and pleasure that come with networking and socializing. But religion for religion's sake was over. The Bible, which reflected I know I'm treading a little thin here, so I want you to just please pay attention to what I'm about to say. The Bible, which reflected humanity's leap from bicameral man into human consciousness when read in its original context, was now obsolete. Its static codes of living had no meaning in the civilization of the universe. Excuse me. That's what I wanted to read, but understand what I'm saying when I say that. The Bible is a beautiful book. It's gotten many of us started in our journey to omnipotence with our God. Make no mistake, God is our creator. Where we have dropped the ball, and I know I've only got 5 minutes. Make no mistake that we were created in the likeness of our God. And I mean that literally. There is absolutely no reason for us to fear. There's no reason for us to continue to follow the path of fear and oppression in the name of a religion over one religion over another. Until we can come to that understanding among ourselves across all our people around the world, we will continue to have religious wars and fight and fight and fight. That's how I want to close this discussion, this presentation to you today is, do not hate other people because they have a religion. Observe, calculate, assess. Honestly assess what you're seeing before you, feel compassion, and then help them to integrate into what we know is true, what we know is honesty, okay? Now, I'm going to make an announcement. After Sheehan has pushed me, thank you, God, I love you so much. You too, John, I love you guys. I really do. I think everybody could benefit from Sheehan being replicated across our country. Okay, if we could push a button and replicate her and her husband, we would be so much better off. But because of her goading and pushing and getting me, I'm going to start a course. I'm going to do this. I've already set it up. It's going to be on Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. Okay, I'm going to start teaching the Hope Formula.
Awesome.
Good.
If you would like for me to teach you the Hope Formula, it's going to be $99. Okay? And that's going to cover all the pillars. It's going to include the book and the workbook. I will send it to you. All you got to do is email me, Rick Mabe at livinghopeinstitute.org, and we will send the book to you and the workbook, and we will schedule these classes. The classes are scheduled to start Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Rick Mabe at livinghopeinstitute.org. I'll send you the syllabus, the class schedule, the copy of the book and the workbook, and we'll get started. Now, I said that Tuesday, but I might have jumped too quick because I got to get the book and workbook to you. I didn't think about that till just now. So the book is available on Amazon.com. If you want to get that first, get the book and workbook by going to Amazon.com. You can get the book and workbook ahead of time. So maybe I'll do that the following week. Maybe we'll schedule for the following week, because if you want to go ahead and sign up, just go to livinghopeinstitute.org or send me an email at rickmabe at livinghopeinstitute.org. Probably the best thing to do to get that discussion going, and then we'll get the book and stuff to you. So we got to allow for delivery of the book and stuff, and then you might not be able to get it before next Tuesday, because here it is. This is Saturday. You only got 3 days to get the book and workbook. I got excited. All right, I got excited. I wanted to go ahead and get this thing going. But I think that if you guys, want to do that, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start teaching it. And Sheehan's got me. She stuck a hot rod where the sun don't shine. And, she prodded me. So now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do it. You guys, if you're interested in it, if you want to learn more, follow this. Let's get this thing going. Oh, what you're going to see the reason I read that to you, why did I read that, Sheehan? Why did I read about Paradise Cities?
Because that's what you want to build.
I want to build. This is the main reason I'm here, really. The main reason I'm here, actually, is to tell you about livinghopeinstitute.org. The Institute is, go to livinghopeinstitute.org, look at the website. On there's a slide presentation and a model about what the Institute looks like. We need to build one of these things. This has got to be, we want to build this thing. That's why I read that to you. And believe me, I just turned to this I did not look for this specific thing. It was there. I'm good. We've got to build one of these things. And if you go on livinghopeinstitute.org, please look at it. Look at the model. It's got it all there. I've got the business plan laid out. It's ready to go. So if you know people, if you can't be involved or don't want to be involved, that's all good. It's all great. But if you know people who are interested in that kind of thing, we need people to be teachers. We need people to be builders. We need people who want to live there. If you know people that need a place to go to find some solace, to be able to find out what their essence is, we need mentors. We need volunteers. We need people who are ready to do this. We're already looking for the farm. It's going to be a farm, organic, self-sustaining, aquaculture. It's all in the business plan. It's all in the model. It's time to do this, y'all. And with your help, we can make it happen. So I almost forgot my main message this morning, didn't I, guys?
You got it.
You get me preaching. I'll keep preaching and preaching and preaching, and I'll forget all about what I'm really put, because that's the main thing, isn't it? It's to help people. It's to help people get where they need to be. Sheehan's doing a bang up job down there with what she's doing across the entire state. And so the livinghopeinstitute.org, it's there. You can see a model. You can see the presentation. It's about 5 minutes. Click on the Institute on the menu. It's a 5-minute slide presentation. Just shows, kind of an elementary look of what the Institute will look like. You can donate there. There's a place to donate money. And actually, here's a key thing. If you click on the donate tab, you can get a copy of the book and workbook by a donation. And then that money goes toward building the Institute. And you get a copy of the book and workbook as well. So you can do that if you would like. That's already there, everything. And right now I'm actually on the PayPal setting up for the course payment. And for $99, you can get the course, the workbook, and we'll start that. Let's get it done. I think that's everything I should say, don't y'all?
Sure. And I want to make sure everybody knows, we have a little more information we want to share as well. But yeah, I think you did a great job, Rick, and we thank you much. I wanted to also, let's see if I can show this book. I don't know. For those of you who haven't read Wealth, Health, and Peace on Earth anytime recently, this is really the inspiration that caused us to say, we got to get some people back together and working together. Because Mark in there talks about the split run, about the idea of having a parallel society that's being built at the same time as this crazy anti-civilization is still in existence, and that it's by building that parallel society and showing what it's capable of that we make the old one obsolete and disappear. And that's the vision that I'm holding, and that's why we're starting to do these things on Saturday morning, to bring together people of like mind and to set us up to be able to bring in people who have not ever read a Mark Hamilton book and help them to understand what we see. And, we just did a radio show that's going to play on Monday at 2:30 Eastern Time on 881thetruth.com. And Don, actually, I was interviewing him, and he was talking about what his vision has been all along. He calls it the Church of the Entrepreneur. So again, it's all in the same vein of what we have learned. It's just that we're all finding different ways to find our own personal voice, take what we've learned through the knowledge of the books we've read, and then put it out here in ways where we can speak to people who've never read any of it and help them to understand what we understand. So along with that, Rick mentioned that, people can actually donate to the Hope Institute, the Living Hope Institute, which is a great thing. But we also know that if the 12 Visions world really comes to pass the way that it's supposed to, that things like nonprofits may not even continue to exist, because we're supposed to be building a new world based on business, honest, ethical business, on value creation. And so that's one of the things that we're helping people to understand more about. And I'm hoping that I can I did that too soon. I'm hoping that I can share my screen and just kind of share with you guys some information that we've been putting out here in the community in general. So, Rick, maybe you can help me. Tell me, can you see my We Care partnerships?
Yes.
All right, good deal. So the screen has been shared. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the whole concept of harnessing the power of collaborative team-based fundraising. And so even if you're not ready to grab one of the visions of the Miss Annabelle students and start building it for yourself, you certainly could get engaged in helping people who are building, whether it's us, whether it's Rick, whether it's, you know, I know Teresa, who's been on this morning, she's got some ideas about being able to help empower women and women who've been through some difficulties in the past. So there are more and more of us who are working on some of those things. And that's what we wanted to just encourage you to think about, because we're actually doing team collaboration events here in Raleigh 2 Wednesdays a month. And so we get groups of people of like mind and like vision to come together, and we ask them, hey, did you guys come up with an idea that you'd like to implement, and does it need funding? And for a lot of people, you know, the answer ends up being yes. And we should know by now that to accomplish a big vision, we've got to have things like collaboration and teamwork and even what we call family. And you can see right here, here's Mr. Mabe and Pat LaFair and Barb Aftanis. These are all folks who have been working with us in the past, and they're all part of our family as we think of it. And so we've got to get more people collaborating together. And even though Don and I may have one way of presenting to people about the fact that, you know, we were designed in the image and likeness of Creator, Rick might have a different way to present that. We have to speak it from our own voice because there's people who need to hear from us. One of my favorite sayings has always been, everybody can hear somebody, but not everybody can hear the same somebody. So we're not competing with each other. We're just preparing so that people can hear us and hear from our voice and our story. And, you know, one of the things Don and I have learned over the last 25 years is that collaboration and teamwork doesn't always have to be built from a scratch type structure. And in some cases, it actually makes more sense to repurpose something that already exists instead of reinventing the wheel. And, you know, Rick mentioned the golden rule. And quite honestly, that is something that we try to put out here to people as much as we can. So what if we could all be making money, raising funds, providing a valuable or product or service, but you don't have to be the one involved in creating the product or performing the service? And what if you could pay other people to help you raise funds, but the money doesn't have to come directly out of your pocket? Someone else sends them a check. And what if you could spend more of your time building your vision with more money to do it? This is a relatively simple thing to do if people feel compelled to come together. So here's the thing. What if I told you this is all possible utilizing existing business structures that are called either affiliate programs or network marketing programs? They can be repurposed to become fundraising tools for your vision. The kicker is there's a whole lot of churches out here who run around selling candy bars and magazine subscriptions and Krispy Kreme donuts and a whole lot of stuff that's a bunch of junk for the most part. And I say, why not sell products that actually have meaning and value to somebody and use the profit from those sales to help us to build these visions? So, you know, some of you may have had some bad experiences in the network marketing world. We've all had the people who come up to us and say, hey, see my happy, shiny product. You know you want it. And a lot of people go running for the woods when people come at them that way. And then we've all seen people who are opportunity focused. It's all about, you're going to make millions. You're going to have great wealth. You've got to get involved in my opportunity. And a lot of people have learned how to run from that as well. And so what we do is we teach people to talk about your vision, your cause, your purpose. Build a team of fundraisers who think like you and who want to see your vision come to pass because their vision is part of your vision. That's what we're starting to find in the Raleigh-Durham area, is that we are finding more and more people who have a piece of the vision that we would all call the super puzzle. And so we're trying to bring them together in different network marketing teams where we can help them raise money for their vision. And at the same time, they're helping us to build the super puzzle vision. So if you've ever read anything by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, then you've got to be aware of what he calls the cash flow quadrant. And, you know, everybody gets started as an employee, just about. That's what our society is built on. You got to be an employee. You got to have a job. And then some of us break out of that and we go into being involved in being self-employed, doing sales. We're typically product or service sales focused. That's what Don did when he had his copier repair company. And then there's people who actually start to build teams, or whether you're building teams in network marketing or whether you're hiring independent contractors or employees in a business, as you build that business, you're gaining more of a money-making focus, but you're also starting to create time freedom and leveraged income. And Don was very able, when he had his copier repair business, he had independent contractors working with him that gave him the freedom to be able to spend more time with our kids, to be able to take off a couple of weeks at a time on vacation, knowing that money was still coming into the business. And this is the power of the network marketing structure, is all in the fact that we can become business owners and build teams. And then that allows us, as we build those teams and we build time freedom and we build leveraged income, we can now invest in our own community and our own vision for creating these paradise cities like what Rick's talking about. So we actually, the money that we make from our network marketing programs gives us more freedom. It helps us to pay for the RV we've moved into so we can become mobile and come to you to help spread these messages. But we've also are building that money because as we cover our living expenses, it gives us more freedom to go into the community and teach entrepreneurial skills to people who have been homeless, to people who have come out of prison, to young people who might be living in homeless shelters with a drug-addicted parent. We've dealt with all of these people, and we know there's genius in these communities that's just dying to be unlocked. And that's what we're out here working to do. So, you know, you can create a B business from scratch. That's what Don did. But you can also create strategic alliances with existing companies and build the residual income. And that's what we're doing with these companies right now. iClub Biz, we're going to show you some of what we're doing with iClub Biz, just so you can take a look at that and understand this. If you are not quite ready to jump off and start building your own piece of the super puzzle, perhaps it's time for you to consider supporting those who do. For as little as $12.50 a month, it's like 2 boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts. You could be getting something of value through iClub Biz that helps us to fund the pieces of the super puzzle that we're doing. We believe big time in Legal Shield. If you're not familiar with Legal Shield, it's one of the ways that you can fight the corrupt justice system by having an attorney on retainer 24/7 for as little as $25 a month. Try going anywhere else to get an attorney on retainer and see where it takes you. And then sometimes you can just swap where you shop to help support the work of many of us who are coming together. And we happen to believe in longevity because Don has a huge story about how his joint problems have been reversed with longevity. But there's also a part of it called longevity services that anybody can join for free and be able to sell a variety of business services, individual services, all kinds of different services. anybody can join for free, even somebody who's come through the justice system and may have some kind of a record at this point in time. So swap where you shop is one of the simplest ways that you can help with this. What I wanted to make sure I showed you today is this main piece, which we're calling the iClub Biz Internet Marketing and Email System. It's called iWebAtool. And this is an example of one of our members, and she is working on creating basically a Miss Annabelle school. She works with the kids who end up in the streets, and she works to put them out there and be able to teach them entrepreneurial skills before they become the illegal entrepreneurs. And so she's got one of our iWebAtool systems. We go to her page and we put in names and phone numbers and email addresses of people who want to be part of her team to create this kind of private school. And then as we do that, those people can become part of her iClub team and help her start to build the residual income that lets her do more of helping these at-risk kids. And then we have another gal. She's got a nonprofit right now, and she is very big on the health and wellness. And so we're doing events with her every month to help her raise funds for her nonprofit using longevity products and longevity services. So she wanted her community to learn more about health and wellness because she's really afraid too many of them are kind of like worshiping the medical gods instead of understanding that our Creator made our bodies to be able to heal itself when given the right kind of things. So that's our other example. So we have what is called Women Leading from the Heart and Men on a Mission United. These are two web pages that we have, and these are the people who are building the Paradise Cities, the Miss Annabelle story, the 12 Visions world. They're doing it oftentimes with very little support because our government doesn't typically want to support them. So this is where we're highlighting people and showing what they can do. And each of you should become part of that without a doubt. So the other piece is I have no idea whether this will end up being able to show or not. So somebody give me a clue. Rick, is your page showing?
I see you can get everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Zig Ziglar.
Okay. All right, so let me stop my share and then I'm going to try sharing again because it's not showing what I want it to show. So let's see, share. All right, yes, I had this problem one other time and I learned the hard way that I have to go back and reshare. So tell me, can we see your page yet?
You sure can. Hey!
Hey! There it is. So if you just go to iwebatool.net/no-hype-hope, this is Rick's iWebAtool page, and he's put a video in there talking about the Hope Institute. And if you look down this page, if you scroll down this page, or actually it's over here on the side. Some of them are below and some are on the side. So on the side,
yeah, we can see
you can actually put your name, your email address, and your phone number in here. And then that way, Rick can be in touch with you to let you know what he's doing with the Hope Institute and to let you know when his classes start. And when you put your information in here, you can actually get a free ebook about the Hope formula. So this page is an iClub Biz product. And again, for $12.50 a month, you can have your own page and at the same time be helping Rick create funds for the Hope Institute, helping us to create funds for the whole darn super puzzle that we're putting together, and be able to have something of value to help you share your vision and be able to build your business. Just to give you some ideas, this is mine. It's all about living your song, which is what I call finding your Friday night essence. People can go here and get complimentary session with me. This is another iClub page. This is Don's page talking about, his health challenges that he went through and how longevity has helped him to get back to having a normal life. So these are all examples of the iWebAtool pages. And unfortunately, Mr. Stedman is no longer putting his out there that talks about what he really loves to do, which is try to help young people understand that they can be entrepreneurs. But this is another example of an iClub webpage, because this is another one of the products that we can sell through iClub. So even if you don't care about iWebAtool, perhaps you can buy healthy dog food and help keep your pet healthier. We also have things like healthy coffee. Just start swapping where you buy your coffee from one of us. And now you can help create more funds for all of us to be able to build the super puzzle together. That's what it ends up being all about. And here's the Men on a Mission United webpage. You can see Mr. Kramer at the top. This gentleman, Joe Crawford, is building positive media. He has a magazine called the City Insight magazine, and he is like the Patterson Press. We love him. That's why we've got him here. Mr. Stedman, he was absolutely had himself out there as an advocate for those who don't fit in traditional corporate jobs. And here's Mr. Rick, the No Hype Hope coach. So, you know, anybody who wants to get involved with the iWebAtool, you can become, if you've got a vision, a piece of the super puzzle, you can become a member of Men on a Mission United. And for the women, we've got Women Leading from the Heart. And these are all women who are out here creating their own pieces of the super puzzle in different ways. Yeah, some of you might know that lady, Jill Reed. She has been very much part of what we've been doing for a number of years. And quite honestly, I'm not sure where to take this next year, but back in 2016, when we launched this effort, we took a group of women up to Washington, D.C., and we spoke at the Jefferson Memorial. These are all pictures from the Jefferson Memorial in October of 2016. And basically, we were telling people about the super puzzle pieces we were creating. And then some of us have actually collaborated since then to work with kids, work with adults in different places. And this is what's possible. This is the kind of activity that has to happen to create the 12 Visions world, to create the super puzzle. So just know that maybe next year, as we come into that next crazy election cycle, maybe all of us need to be up there having our own speaking platform somewhere on the National Mall and letting people know that we don't have to put up with the crazy political garbage. In fact, Don and I are writing a book right now, and it's called #DoTheChange. Skip the politics and start creating heaven on earth now. That's what's going to come out this year with us. And again, it's our interpretation for the masses about how we need to be involved in building the super puzzle. So that's kind of everything that we had to share for today. We try to keep this to about an hour, and hopefully somebody somewhere will be inspired that they might want to get involved with us. Rick, what's the easiest way? Is your website the easiest way for people to get a hold of you? Of course, they can go to iwebatool.net/nohypehope, but you've also got the livinginstitute.org, right?
Yeah, I would say the best way to get in touch with me is to go on that livinghopeinstitute.org, send an email to Rick Mabe at livinghopeinstitute.org is probably the most best way. And just in closing real quick, after listening to Sheehan talk about the iWebAtool, iClub Biz, longevity, I just want to say that after listening to her talk about Dawn and longevity, my knees have been hurting. I mean, they've been hurting bad going up and down the steps. And I have had this container of longevity beyond tangerine or something like that.
Beyond tangy tangerine, yep.
I started doing my 2 scoops again, and my knees are starting to feel better. So this is no joke. I mean, and the whole thing with with building the businesses together, I don't know what I've been thinking, but I'm going back in here, and I think we should all get back together and start building again like we had never had before. I think this is very crucial, y'all. I'm going to get off here, but I'm going to let Sheehan have it back. But after listening to her, this is so simple and so profound for us to build residual income coming in to help us all build our visions across all spectrums. We got to get more people coming to these meetings. That's what we've got to do. So Sheehan, I'm going to start making a commitment to be here just as often as I possibly can on these meetings and these calls. So let's just keep this going. And I'm going to start setting up my own Zoom too. And let's all start meeting together. Don, yeah, buddy, great team. Y'all doing a great job. So I'm sorry. Go back.
Nothing to be sorry about at all. I mean, I'm excited that you're excited again, because we have the power and we've got to exercise it. Take it back from the dingbat politicians who are just trying to destroy everything. You know, we don't have to be politicians. In fact, we're better off not to be politicians in order to bring the 12 Visions world about. We found that out the hard way, didn't we?
Yes,
So anyway, hopefully something here has inspired you. Do know that with longevity right now, Rick, you still have the ability between now and the end of the month to place a no cost shipping for products if there's anything that'll help you. And right now, this 1 week, anybody who wants to learn more about longevity, this week, anybody who becomes a new customer or a new distributor can get a free shipping order as well. So they're going to change their way they do some things on June 1st. So they're pumping up the volume this week. So just let us know. You can always reach us at liveyoursong.club is my iWebitool page. His is getyourhealthback.club. And so you can find more information there. And yeah, triangleSolutionsAlliance.com is another great place to find us. So thank you all for being here. I'm excited that you have been. And get in touch with us. Go to our Webitool pages. Put your information in there so that we have the ability to email each other. Because that's the other thing we never know. Facebook keeps messing with stuff. Lots of these social medias keep messing with stuff so that we can't be seen as much as we want to be. The #1 way to overcome that is to go to each other's iWebitool page and put your contact information in there, and then we have the ability to email you as part of a group. That's the easiest and best way for us to stay connected. So please go to those iWebitool pages, and we'll plan on being here again next Saturday morning. You'll see some information going out. If you are already an iWebitool user and you're part of either Men on a Mission United or Women Leading from the Heart, then you can present something here next Saturday. We'd love for you to do it. Get in touch with us and let us know you're interested. And if you want to learn how to become a member, get in touch with us on that too. So I'm excited. Have a great week, everybody, and a super Memorial Day weekend.
And great presentation, Rick.
That was awesome.
Thank you very much. You too. Happy Memorial Day. Love you guys.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, folks. Have a great day.
Good holiday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.